Galaxy Radio. Your campus, your voice.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's that man again. Despite his meandering maneuverability, his strategical susceptibility, his infantile indefatigability, and his tendency towards tactical stupidity, he still remains.
And the imaginary sound of music.
You're listening to Loose Men.
Thursdays, 7 till 8.
And the imaginary sound of music.
On Galaxy Radio.
Are you sitting comfortably? Then we'll begin.
Come on, once more. 5, 6, 2, 8.
Hello and welcome to the first official show of Loose Men with me, Johnny Birch.
And me, Ben Hodgkinson.
So tonight is the beginning of a new era with radio's #1 DJs on Leicester's second biggest student station. We did a show last week, but it didn't really count because it was a pilot.
No, exactly.
No.
I was ill. I'm still just as ill. So.
Still just as ill, are you?
Yeah, still just as ill.
So yeah, like I said, last week was pilot. So if you didn't listen to that, it doesn't matter because it was okay. But we knew where we can improve.
Some technical difficulties, but on the whole, it was absolutely fine, in a way. Have you got anything to add, Ben, about what to expect on the show? What to expect? Lots of banter, high levels of controversy, pushing the line, pushing.
Yeah, got to push boundaries.
Exactly.
We're called Loose Men for a reason. Not for that reason though.
No.
We're not loose in that sense, but I can't say.
Hopefully not.
It would go against the station rules. So we're sort of here to tell you people the news that you really need to hear, not the news that that Kevin Spacey and Dustin Hoffman have been involved in more sexual allegations. Obviously that's all important stuff, but it's not the stuff that you really want to hear. You want to be hearing about America's fattest man, getting a huge weight loss thing. Like
exactly. Different stuff rather than just the same old scandals.
Yeah, we're here to give you what you want, not what you need to hear. So, what's coming up tonight, Ben? What have we got planned for the audience? Do you want me to read out the what?
Yeah, you've got the list.
I've got the list. Okay. So we will start off with a little thing that was the award-winning Red Top review. When I did my show last year, it was an award-winning feature, and I thought I'd bring it back for this.
Let's try and get it 2 years running.
Yeah, try and win another award, just so I can be a triple award-winning radio presenter on Galaxy Radio with a global audience of billions. Just thought I'd put it out there. And Red Top Review is basically where me and Ben, we bring in a newspaper, either The Sun or the Daily Star.
Yeah, The Star.
And then we just give you the news, straight from that, because they're the best newspapers in my honest opinion. Obviously,
we do read it cover to cover, getting the best stories.
Yeah.
We don't just go front page.
No, we look into the nitty gritty stuff. We look into what really drives Britain. And of course, because we're loose men, and like the loose women, we have an issue that we like to discuss. Today we're going to be discussing homelessness and what we can do about it, I suppose. But not even that, just our views on it.
I don't know, yeah, I'm not...
We're not going to go into how we're going to solve homelessness. We could, but we'll just see what happens. We're just going to talk our views and see what happens. And then, that's about it, really. So, enjoy that. So... Ben, you're the music master.
The music theme for today is the 50s, where the UK chart started in 1952. So these are all chart toppers.
Yeah.
And we're putting a song on now.
Yeah, we can do. To be fair, we've got them hyped. They know that the Red Top Review is coming next.
They know what to expect. Yeah. So Red Top Review straight after Diana by Paul Anka.
So that was Diana, and
more technical difficulties there.
Yeah, we
apologise.
We could hear from our headphones that obviously there was a bit of some jumping. Or
we'll sort it.
We'll sort
hopefully.
It's it's like I say, it is Leicester's second biggest radio station for student radio station for a reason.
It's definitely within the top 100 largest radio stations in Leicester.
Yeah, absolutely. We can't follow. Oh, I'm not sure. Yeah, they probably are. I mean, we're already
in Leicester City.
I mean, I'm just reading the rules now, and I don't think we're allowed to like say anything bad. We're not saying anything bad about them. We're just saying the facts, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a fact they're not the biggest student radio station ever. It's a tin pot station. That's how I describe it.
You're pushing it a bit. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah,
it's like
possibly. Yeah.
Sometimes the tin pot stuff has has character. It's not been commercialised. Like, it's nice having like bits of the wall falling off, or just random stuff, like a random guitar in the corner. It's nice to have that little bit.
Yeah, it's cute.
It's cute, yeah. So now it's time to reach what I'd say is probably our biggest feature. It's what
definitely.
What our fans, because we've now got fans, obviously. It's what our fans always come for. It's time for the Red Top Review. Red Top Review. As you heard, that was the Red Top Review jingle, which means it's time for the Red Top Review. Let's do the Red Top Review. So, Ben, what have you got as your first?
You want me to take it away? Well, my first story.
Yeah. So wait, which newspaper have you got?
I've got the Star.
Yeah.
Double check. Yeah, I've got the Daily Star. And out of my 3 stories I've chosen, I've tried to go what I found least entertaining to most entertaining to read.
Yeah.
The first one's just a sort of agony aunt. It's called Just Jane.
Oh, and then I've got Dear Deirdre in
we've
mine.
got Dear Deirdre in the Sun. So there's lots of agony aunts on Loose Men. And I don't know. I just thought it's such a. I mean, there's this little cliche joke, first world problems, and I think this epitomises it. So we've got Scrooge family won't help me. So it's some woman who's written into Just Jane, pleading for money. Says, I have no money. I can't afford to pay off my credit cards, book a holiday, or buy Christmas presents. I mean, that alone, them 3 things aren't essential in my opinion. That's literally the whole story. It's quite a big pay. I mean, it goes into it a bit more, but it was sort of her fury at the family not paying for her holiday and stuff.
Is she okay? I mean, like, what was Jane's advice? Was it just to
literally man up, well, woman up? She just sort of said you're gonna have to sort yourself out and not rely on others, or try to be less dependent on others, which I saw as just sort of a get a grip woman.
Yeah. And you assume that like there are people putting all their complaints to Just Jane. There'll be more than just those complaints there. There'll be like probably a couple hundred of people.
God, and this is obviously the one where she thought this needs addressing.
This needs to be put out there.
See, what really annoys me is if fair enough, I'm struggling to pay my rent. I'm struggling to buy food. That would be, if your family weren't supporting you then I'd agree.
Yeah.
It would be annoying, but you shouldn't have a credit card if you're poor with money or haven't got the money to pay it off. That's why I don't have a credit card.
Yeah.
B, holidays are far from essential. They're nice, don't get me wrong, everyone wants a holiday, but you've got to get your priorities straight. And Christmas presents, I suppose, is a bit more if she's got children, maybe. But
yeah, that's understandable. But there are. If she is really struggling, there are charities.
Exactly. There are. So yeah, I just thought that was more annoying than anything. So that's why it's my first story. I get that out of the way.
Yeah. Well, the Sun has been pretty. It's just that, like, obviously, with all these sexual allegations in Hollywood at the moment, that's made front page news. Like with Dustin Hoffman, they've done a nice little pun there because he was in the film The Graduate, and they've called it the Grabuate.
Right. Yeah, they try their puns a lot, newspapers, but not normally with much success.
And I do want to emphasise, by the way, the Sun, their slogan is for a Greater Britain, so you are really getting the driving force of what
exactly.
Of Britain.
If everyone in Britain read the Sun, according to the Sun, Britain would be a better place.
And they think this is making top stories. So in the Sun, we've got a headline with a puppy love.
Okay, I'm interested.
It's only a sentence, and it's called. It says this: students Con Morris. That's her name, Con Morris.
Okay.
She's 18 from Newcastle.
Right.
And she says that men on Tinder, the dating app, are more interested in her in her two Shih Tzu pups.
Okay.
That's the story. That's the news. The news was men are more interested in her dogs than her.
I mean, that is obviously groundbreaking from the Sun. I'm glad the Sun's reported this.
I think that's the worst bit of news I've ever found in my life.
Yeah,
it's really just scraping the bottom of the barrel.
One student who, I'm guessing they're quite cute dogs, and she's put a picture of her dog. But how does she even know that? Obviously, the men must have said to her, "I'm only swipe right, or whatever, for your dogs." Either that or it's just pure conjecture, or maybe she didn't get any people swiping right, and then as soon as she put a picture of her dogs up. But it's just such a strange story.
I mean, I'm just enjoying the fact that I can say, just actually say Shih Tzu live on air.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong.
I'm not too sure it's spelt, but
it's spelled SHIH and then space TZU, so it's Shih Tzu.
Yeah.
Shih Tzu. I don't know. So
exactly.
that's my first story of the night. What's your next story?
My next story, again, similar to that.
Yeah.
It's just pure conjecture. There's no.
It always is.
The only name involved in this article about men is the female author. So I'm not sure. I'm guessing she's heard one or two men. She might have set out a bit of a larger consensus, but
yeah.
And it's guys want cuddles ... and less sex. Romance is dead, says fellas. Young men are moaning that they're getting too much sex and not enough cuddles. And I just think,
where did they get those statistics from?
I'd love to know. Modern blokes are desperate for romance and quality time with women rather than constant bedroom action.
I'm just seeing right now.
Is she basing this on her own experiences? Is she a bit of a nymphomaniac? Is she?
Well, I'm just seeing like whoever wrote this was like obviously when they're in the office and somebody said, I just want a bit more cuddles in my relationship, and it's like, really? Guys, is this the same? Is it the same for you guys? Yeah, I wouldn't mind a few more cuddles. Right, that's news.
Yeah, exactly. And it's got. Don't get me wrong, it's in the middle of the paper. It's not exactly front page news, but it's got.
But it's the main news that the people need to hear.
Yeah, exactly. But it's still in the paper. The Star obviously thought, you know what, the country needs to hear this. Guys want cuddles and less sex. Women, listen. Or men.
Or men, if you're into that.
Or
any gender. Yeah, there's more than one gender.
Absolutely.
And so now time. I've got. There's always a section in the Sun on a Thursday, which is Rod Liddell's section, and this guy. He's an interesting fella because I don't know where he's like what his qualifications are, but he's got this whole column, this whole page to himself, where he just gives his views on the news of the week.
He must be quite a. He's quite a high up figure.
He knows his stuff. Let's just say that he says things like, "Uzbekistan is pretty grim." That's his first line.
I've never heard of Uzbekistan. Well, I've heard of it, but I've never been there. I don't know what it's like. But from the name, that is that
and his view was that he finds it pretty grim. That was all there was to it, really.
Right.
The one that I quite like, though. I mean, to be fair, I've read Rod Liddell a few times, and he comes up with more interesting stuff. But this has been a bit of a week, if I'm honest. Where so he's got one for Halloween. He's saying. Hundreds of kids dropped by our house on Halloween after Sweeties. Their mums and dads in close attendance. They all looked great, done up to the nines as werewolves and goblins, and oddly, a couple of pandas. But it's all become a bit safe, and a bit corporate, hasn't it? I think it has, to be fair. It's a bit. Well,
yeah, I'd agree.
He goes into it more like the sweets pre-packaged by the big companies. I've seen that, yeah. The costumes on hire or bought from Tesco. This is where it gets a bit weird. I think I preferred it when I was young, and we just wandered around pelting mean-fisted homeowners with flour and eggs, or putting a banger in some dog poo on their step and ringing the bell, and frightening pensioners. Happy days.
Okay. Funnily enough, I saw it wasn't really an article online. The Bulwell and sort of neighbouring towns. Local sort of police Facebook page, because the police are now heavily involved with Facebook.
Yeah.
I don't follow them. It's part of Nottingham. They posted something about sort of guidelines for homeowners on Halloween. So if you don't want trick-or-treaters, put this poster up. If you do want trick-or-treaters, it was keep your door locked, look through your peephole, and when you first open the door, put the little chain latch on so it only opens halfway, and ask them for identification before you fully open the door and let them into your house.
It's like a club right there.
Exactly,
ID, please.
Exactly. So you've got some little.
Oh, no trainers, mate.
Yeah, so you got some young kids. They might have their parents be like at the end of the drive, dressed as a ghost, sort of cute. Wanted some sweets. And they knock on a door, trick or treat. The door gets opened. It's, have you got some ID, please? No entry without ID.
No entry without ID.
So then the kid obviously pulls his driver's licence out, and he's fine. He gets all the candy he wants.
Gets his provisional out. It's fine, yeah. Yeah, and that's all there is with Rod Liddell. Rod Liddell's an interesting guy. You'll find in the weeks to come we'll get more of his views on the news of the week. But this week was a bit of a dry week for him.
Yeah,
it was a bit empty. Yeah,
that's fair.
Have you got any more?
So my last one. This is my favourite one of the week. I was flicking through the whole paper because I tend to skip the first few pages because, like I say, it's just the sort of generic scandals that everyone knows about. Lewis Hamilton getting a night on, etc., etc. But this one, page 3. So right next to a lovely lady called Charlotte, it's just a column.
Yeah.
Corden, so James Corden. I love a cup of espresso. And he gets into it, and then that's just the title. It's got a little strap line.
It's got me hooked already.
Exactly, a little strap line. James's bum deal.
What?
So it's a telecomic. James Corden was left squirming after he was given a bizarre coffee enema. The 39-year-old was urged by pregnant wife to try relaxing. So he went to a health clinic in LA, and he said he had a lovely massage. He thought that was great. And they poured some oil all over his head, which is a bit strange. But he said, "Yep, that's great." And then the lady asked him, "Would you like a cup of coffee?" Or no, "Would you like some coffee?" Sorry. To which he said, "Yeah, I'd like some coffee. I'll have an espresso. I'm a flat white kind of guy." To which she said, "Oh no, we'll be pouring 4 cups of coffee up your backside." Now this in itself, this is a story. If you spoke to James in the pub, James Corden in the pub, this is something he might come out with then.
Yeah.
This is not something I'd expect on page 3, next to a lovely young lady called Charlotte. Page 3 of the Star. It's just bizarre. James Corden getting an enema which he didn't expect.
I think he's gone a bit weird. I found in the past couple of months of just little things.
Yeah, I think since he's gone to America, he's become sort of an A-lister, hasn't he? Sort of high.
Yeah.
So every part of his life, including him getting enemas, is going to be reported.
And that's what you want to hear. That's what everyone wants to know.
I did think the people listening to this show, if anyone's listening to this show, they need to know that James Corden had an enema and he wasn't expecting it.
Well, there we go. That's some news you want to hear on the on Loose Men.
Exactly.
And my last story, it's nothing major. Nothing big. Well, it is big, to be fair, because it's about a fat woman.
All right.
It's about an obese boss. She steals £55,000 from a firm to fund a gastric band operation and luxury holiday. There's a picture of her, by the way, if you're wondering what she looks like now. I think it worked. It worked. Mostly.
Yeah, I mean, it's annoying that she stole it.
Yeah.
Gastric bands, they're definitely a way of losing weight, but
go for a run.
If you haven't got the money, there's loads cheaper ways. But she's having to steal money for it. It's sort of like the easy way almost. I mean, some people have to have gastric bands for whatever reason, when they've got mental health disorders, whatever.
Yeah.
But that's just it is an easier way of losing weight because you quite literally your stomach shrinks.
I think I came up with a good invention for how to lose a lot of weight very quickly.
Okay.
It's about it involves running. Basically, you place say a burger and chips on a plate, and you put it on this almost not running machine, but this sort of like a tray with wheels on. Like a sort. You know what I mean? Like a tray with wheels. You put it on.
Yeah.
Like a trolley, if you like.
Okay.
It's motorised, and basically there's little sort of thing on it telling you how many calories you need to lose, how many calories it is, and basically that goes you basically press start, it goes storming down the road, and you have to run after it basically, because obviously if you're fat you want to eat, so you're running after it. You're trying to get your food because that's your food for tonight, and basically the sort of it counts down how many calories you have left to burn off before you can have your burger and chips.
Okay.
I mean, obviously there will be a lot of research and development has to go into it.
Because
they'll need to know which way to turn and go what route to go.
No, that sounds interesting. The only problem I could see with that is if loads of people in one specific town got this invention, there'd be trolleys flying everywhere, and people would just be able to grab someone else's trolley without putting the exercise in.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we need the research and development process.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a work in progress. Time for the Text Maniacs in the Daily Star, though.
Text
for you.
Maniacs. So this is always funny. Those of you who don't know what the Text Maniacs are, they are just the common folk, the common people that the Star has dedicated a page of their texts to.
Yeah.
So again, a lot of them, you have to sift through them. A lot of them are That's the standard. There's loads about Lewis Hamilton this week, which I'm not interested in.
Yeah.
So we've got one from Godfrey. They all put their own names in.
Well, not always. I remember last year there were like a lot of. You got people like the Banterman. There were some great names, and they a lot of them kept cropping back up. So Banterman always cropped up quite a lot. Mooseman was always a classic. He was always on the streets, getting to know what Britain was about.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I'm eager to hear what Godfrey has to say.
So Godfrey, don't know where this has come from, but I almost agree with him. He has got a point here. It's just very strange. Don't forget to buy your fireworks for bonfire night and watch your money go up in smoke. It's I think it's a really weird joke, but it sort of makes sense.
Yeah, I think sometimes they try and put jokes in it as well, but the jokes are awful, so yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, now I read it back, it seems like a joke, but I thought at first it was a guy angry at the price of fire.
It's very hard to tell. Because a certain type of person writes.
I mean, we've got another one from Joey. The government should ban scratch cards as well. They are addictive as well as slot machines. I just sort of think Joey here has got a gambling addiction. I don't think it's this country or scratch cards.
He's just like thinking, why? Everyone seems to have an addiction. Like,
it's probably him and his mates, like his two mates from the pub, always seem to get a scratch card. He goes, I'm outraged.
Well, it's a bit like us with the pub quiz machine.
Yeah, that is a genuine addiction.
We've managed to moderate ourselves now, so we can spend no more than £1 because otherwise we'll just keep going. Do you want to read one more and then we'll go to the horoscopes?
Okay, this one's controversial, so I like it. It's not,
the face you pulled then just told me
it's not too bad, but it's not bad enough to get us in trouble, I don't think. Fingers crossed.
I haven't read this, so this is going to be interesting.
I've heard it all now. I can't shout because my voice. So he's put an exclamation mark. He is angry. Jihadis returning from Syria to be given free council houses. Outrageous. They should be strung up. They are terrorists. That's by Mary Moore. What's even better if you read this? So, returning from Syria to be given. They've got the number 2 and the letter B.
Oh yeah, it's always great just like reading those sorts of ones where they have grammatical errors and things like that.
So she's angry.
And possibly a racist, you don't know.
I'd say possibly.
Possibly, just very slightly.
It's not an issue, I know a great deal. I haven't looked into it, but what I've possibly got from this is some Syrians, or they've had just some immigrants have moved in the house down the road, and she's made assumptions.
A few too many assumptions.
Yeah.
Okay, should we get some horoscopes in there?
Yeah, absolutely. Would you like to go first?
Yep. So this is Mystic Meg, and Mystic Meg's always an interesting one.
Yeah, hard to read though.
Yeah, this one she's managed to make sentences out of this, so that's good. So you're Cancer, aren't you?
I am. Yep.
So the key word for your day is new. As things you try for the first time reveal hidden talents. Have you tried anything new today?
I've given up drinking for a month.
Oh, hello.
As of today, waking up with one of the worst hangovers I've ever had has put me off drinking. And it's not just every time I have a hangover, every time anyone has a hangover, they go through I'm never drinking again.
Yeah.
But I've decided with my health deteriorating, I do need to stop for a bit.
Well, I'm fully on board with that. I mean, I won't be following you, obviously.
No, but so far, Mystic Meg's nailed it there.
Yeah. She's and then she goes on. Communicating with folk whose life story is the opposite of yours will inspire you. We're talking about homeless people later on. That's the complete opposite of you.
Yeah, I've got a home.
So
I'd agree with that.
So yeah, it's all working. In love, you have the mental strength to help a relationship fulfill its true potential. I don't know about that. Do you have the mental strength for that?
I don't know. She's got me in thought here. Mystic Meg. I think, you know what, for Mystic Meg, that is the best one I've read.
She finishes off by going with the love thing. Your best source of luck is the family's newest member. Hello, you got a new member?
As far as I'm aware, no.
Fair enough then.
so Mystic Meg, she got so close.
She can't get everything right then.
No, but it's so close to being a perfect.
So what's the one in there called?
Called Russell Grant.
Ah, Russell Grant. Yeah, they got a new one.
I always forget your star sign.
Aries.
Work is putting too many demands on you.
Yeah.
It's time to take a break from your duties.
Yeah, agreed.
Stop telling yourself the world will fall apart if you slow down. Your colleagues will have to learn how to get along without you temporarily.
Yeah.
Do you have a job?
Well, I consider being the production manager of Galaxy Radio a job. It's there's a lot of work to it.
Have you been falling out with any colleagues? Do you feel like it would fall apart without you?
I'm going to say it, yes. No, I don't know. Probably not. No, yeah, let's just say yes, because I'm, a double award-winning radio presenter with a global audience of millions and the production manager. It is on the weight is on my shoulders.
So Russell Grant's got it right here. Oh, I like about this, I've never read Russell Grant's horoscopes, is he is being very specific. He is targeting this at someone who works. And, not everyone works.
That is very true.
So if an Aries person opened it up who was unemployed, they'd think, what are you on about?
So that's good. It's very specific. That's what we like.
So both are fairly accurate today.
So should we finish the Red Top review how we always finish it from now on? And that's by ripping the newspapers apart.
That's always satisfied.
And that was the Red Top review. So it's time for our next song. And what are we going to be playing then?
We've got Elvis Presley. It's a classic, Jailhouse Rock.
Are we sure? Oh, right, yeah, let's play it.
More from the 50s.
Don't think there were any technical difficulties there.
No, I think the tech team sorted it, hopefully.
We hope. I mean, there probably were.
Touch wood.
We were thinking, near the end of the song, because we did go onto the website just to see how many listeners we have. Because
How many millions? Yeah, he crashed the internet, there was that many.
Yeah, and...
Then he broke the internet like the IT crowd.
and then, of course, when we turned it, actually went on the site, we think that... I think the computer does connect to the output, so I think you might have heard the song doubly over. Is that a word? Doubly over? Doubly over?
Yeah, so yeah.
Let's just say that.
Potentially,
yeah.
Let's pretend that didn't happen.
Okay, so I've just realised we're on to our issue of the week. Like we said, loose women. They'd like to talk about a topic like I don't know, sex before marriage or that sort of stuff. I mean, I that's the one I always go to for some reason.
Yeah,
it's the one
we did that last week.
In the pilot.
Which
was interesting. But we've learned from our mistakes so far. I'm quite enjoying the show. Not too many technical difficulties.
No, it's been good, apart from the music, which is mine.
No, it's fine. We'll get better and better.
We'll get the tech team on it.
Get the tech team on it. They're all in there in the green room. Just with the complimentary drinks, because of course it's such a
such a high-end show.
It just make me wonder why it's not the biggest station in student radio station in Leicester.
I think we can overtake. I was about to say I think we can overtake New Montfort, but
Demon.
Yeah, no,
Demon. That's
probably
what they're called.
Not with their setup.
I don't know. I think it's Demon FM. I think they're called. It's Demon something. Demon Radio.
Don't give them a shout out, Johnny. They might move over now.
Don't move over, please. Don't move. To be fair, they've got an FM license, so if you have a radio, go and actually tune into them. I don't know what their I'll find out for you guys. After the next song, I'll find out what their FM thing is, what the actual 1.0 whatever. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, sure.
But I'll get that for you, listeners, if you want to tune out and tune into them. So the issue of the week, we thought we'd go with the homeless, just to see what our views are. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
Well, it's quite a broad subject, I suppose, and it's a good one to do because. Out of all the groups we can talk about, the homeless are the least likely to complain, I think.
Yeah, why's that? What?
Oh, if you haven't got a home, you're not going to be listening to Galaxy Radio, are you?
Well, you say that, but this is the thing. I've noticed in the past couple of weeks, I've seen homeless people, because I think there's quite a bad homeless sort of situation in Leicester. There's a lot more than
definitely Queen's Road, Clarendon, where we live.
Oh yeah. There's not many, but it's more in the city centre though. There's not loads, but I've seen quite a few of them recently with smartphones. That's the weird thing. They've got smartphones.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
And I know a lot of smartphones don't cost a lot, but still a touch screen smartphone will still cost you a couple.
Where are they getting charged up?
You actually got a good point there. Where do they charge it up? So many questions right now. I mean, I don't want to call them fakers, but it's a bit like the regular guy outside Sainsbury's on Queen's Road. Shout out hit to him.
Yeah.
I think I don't want to say he's a faker, just in case he is, but I think he might be a faker because I've seen him with a phone, I've seen him smoking. So he's got to, where did he buy those cigarettes from? And I know cigarettes are quite expensive, aren't they? You tell me. I don't know.
Yeah, they can be, yeah. I suppose some people, instead of change, might give him a cigarette. I don't know.
And then one of my friends saw him get off the bus to go to his usual spot.
Either that or he's just quite a high earner in the homeless department.
Perhaps. He's picked good spots, to be fair, if I was to be homeless.
Yeah, he's right next to a cash point, which sort of... It makes using that cash point quite emotionally hard.
Yeah, it's very hard. To be fair, I said the worst thing the other day to him. Because usually he doesn't say anything, which I quite like. I quite like a homeless person when they don't say anything. I do. If I want to give them money, I'll do that, but please don't ask, because it just makes me feel worse.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when I don't have change, when I only have a card.
And I was walking past a couple of weeks ago, and he doesn't ask, like, spare some loose change, mate. He just all he said was, "All right, mate," and that's quite a good way of sort of like enticing you in, because he's not asking for loose change. He's just saying, "All right, mate." You could ignore him. I could have ignored him, but because I see him pretty much every day, this is what I said to him. Does it sound bad? It sounded bad in my head after I said it. So he went, "All right, mate," and I was like, "Yeah, all right, you," and then I walked on. Is that bad? Or is that just...
I think that's quite...
Oh, thank God for that.
Like, if you said the same thing to me, if anyone said, "You're alright, mate," and I said, "Yeah, are you?" I'd actually think it was a bit weird if they sort of said, "Well, no, I'm not really." I'd sort of think... It was sort of a rhetorical question. I don't want to be dragged into a conversation. It's just sort of what people say.
What do you think about them, though? Because sometimes... You get the mad ones, don't you? You get the mental ones.
Yeah, you do.
Would you say the guy on Queen's Road is a mental one, or do you think he's just a...
No, because he's
pretty sound.
I think some of the locals, he seems to know them, that he has a chat with them.
Yeah, and well, actually, when we were walking to the studio and we walked past him, somebody had given him something. I'm sure I've seen the same guy before, like, give him something. And it was very strange, because as he was walking, like, so he obviously gave him the thing and then was walking past us. He walked past us, and I had a look at his face. He had the most smug-looking face ever. It was just that face of, look at me, doing something good for a homeless person. It actually kind of annoyed me.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, I do get a lot more inclined to give money to the big issue people.
Yeah.
Although the thing is with that, I always thought the big issue, because it's a free magazine, the big issue company makes money off advertising. I thought, obviously they give it, as far as I'm aware, they give it for free to the homeless people, and they sell it for. I thought they sell it for what they want. So you go up, give them a bit of change, get a magazine. You're both doing each other favours, sort of thing. So I walked past one, threw him. This is a while ago now. Yeah. So I threw him a pound, said, "Oh, you're right, mate." Grabbed a big issue, started walking off, and I just heard this voice go, excuse me," and I thought, probably not talking to me. Carried on walking, then I heard him running towards me.
Oh God!
And he's like, "Sorry, it's £2," and I thought,
you're gonna laugh.
It's quite extortionate for a magazine full of adverts.
Yeah.
I think it was too awkward then to hand the magazine back and say, "Well, in that case, I'm having my £1 back."
This is the thing. I've always wondered, like, why do they have to do big issue? Why can't they just generally magazines like Hello, OK? I've got a subscription to Empire magazine, the film magazine.
Yeah.
Why can't these places like give them that? And in a way, if you see a magazine, it's like, oh, hang on, Katie Price has got a new hairdo or whatever. I'll have a look at that. Oh, it's a homeless person. Give them money. Sorted. Everyone's happy. Everyone's a winner, I think.
Yeah. That's a good point, I suppose.
It's the same idea with, like, designer clothes. Like, if a shop wants to a clothes shop wants to sort of advertise themselves, they dress up the homeless people in their clothes.
Yeah.
They're getting their advertising. Yeah.
And I'd possibly say for the magazine one, though, the big issue is specifically for homeless people. Like I say, they make all their money before they give their papers away from advertising. Whereas a company like Empire or Hello or whatever, any other magazine, they make their money from the sales. So if they could give all their magazine, they could give 100 magazines to some homeless person who they don't really know.
Yeah.
And he could run off when they've lost money.
I mean, but what do you ever actually? Do you just ignore them if you don't want to give money?
Yeah. Or no, if it depends how they say. If they ask, they say, like, "Have you got any change?" I'll say, "Sorry, I haven't got any change."
Ah, right. Yeah,
I don't know.
Because there's all those different methods of, like, how you deal with that any loose change. You've got the choice of either ignoring them, which makes you feel terrible.
Yeah.
You've got the sorry, I've got no change, which I struggle to say, because I already feel bad not giving them money. So when I'm saying sorry, I don't have any loose change, I sort of like halfway through the sentence, I sort of like lose all hope and just go sorry, I'm just move on. And so it just makes it sound like sorry that you're homeless or something like that.
Yeah, fair enough.
You could do the foreign method as well, where you just like do a foreign accent, like sorry, I don't done the what is just do a vague like accent, and that's it, you're sorted.
No, yeah.
It's the same with like all the charity people as well. Like if you like,
I think they're worse.
They're worse because they actually
they do a hard sell. They'll follow you, and they'll literally obstruct you. They'll stand in your line of walking.
I feel like
they'll stand there and say, you know, I'd say the charity ones are annoying, but at the end of the day, they're doing it for a good cause. They're normally volunteers. The worst ones are the ones that they're normally selling like broadband or something.
Oh yeah.
They really annoy me. They should be banned from the streets. They go back to homelessness. But the guy outside Sainsbury's, our local, our regular. The other week when I lost my wallet.
Oh yeah.
I would like to say we did mention on air that it might have been him that took it. Now, if this guy is listed because he's got a smartphone.
Oh yeah, I
think we should issue an apology on air because he didn't take it. I dropped it in the middle of Queen's Road, and it just so happened a mutual friend found it. So, sorry, Mr. Sainsbury's homeless man.
It's Mr. Sainsbury's homeless man, is that what we're calling him now?
Yeah, absolutely. He basically, I'm sure he spends more time outside that Sainsbury's than anyone else, ever.
I mean, I've seen him with a phone, but at the same time I remember him asking somebody, what's the time? So I just get more...
It could be a dead, it could be for show.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, why would you want it for show, though?
Well, yeah, I guess.
But I feel like we've discussed the issue in depth. We've gone to all depth.
Exhausted homelessness.
Yep, I think we've basically solved homelessness.
We haven't come up with any solutions.
No, we just sort of gave our views on it, and that's
slagged them off a bit.
No, we didn't slag them off. No, we never slagged them off. Although you got me thinking, though, I feel like we should do charity next week. Charity's like the next step up.
Charity, yep. Tune in next week for a discussion on charity.
Yeah, because I feel like there's a lot of avenues there. Plus, I've got a cracking anecdote involving. I'm sure told you the deaf woman story.
Yeah, I think you have. Yeah.
So
look forward to that next week.
The deaf woman, Deafgate. Let's call it that.
Deafgate.
That doesn't sound good in my head now. What's our next? Oh, hang on. Actually, wait a minute. I just realised what. Should we? Actually, yeah. We'll play your song.
Yeah, so we'll play another song. So, like I say, this week we've got the 50s. Tune in next week for the 60s. But we've got Doris Day, Que Sera Sera.
And then the next song.
And then the last song will be the best-selling song in the UK from the 50s.
In between that, though, because I feel like we'll have time for another song. We've got the song for the ladies as well.
And then Johnny will put on a song for the ladies.
Just for those.
Any ladies listening.
Our lady fans out there.
Look forward to that.
So, but first,
Doris Day, Que Sera Sera.
What a beautiful song.
It's a very well-known song.
Imagine that coming on in a club. It'd be quite interesting.
In the 50s.
We've just got to go onto the website, actually.
Yeah, I do feel we need to interact more with our listeners.
Yeah, because they are listening.
In the chat, on the on the Galaxy Media, on the website, so feel free to drop a comment. If it makes us laugh, we might read it out.
I mean, of course, the people who do listen to this show are really just the lowest and low. They're just scum.
Yeah, exactly.
Just scummy listeners, and they're scummy. Anyway, one scummy listener, and I see because we don't have names on here, we just have to go with the actual title of it. What we've got here, so it's Anonymous 8904, and whoever it is, it's a great comment.
It is.
It's so. Do you want to read it out? I feel like you.
So. I meant to tell a homeless person I didn't have cash once, but I accidentally told him I didn't have any money. I wanted to curl up and die.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, that would be pretty cutting, really. I don't have any money. It's just, I don't have any money either. Ignore my nice, clean clothes.
Actually, it reminds me of somebody like somebody I remember once. No point saying it now because I don't even know the full story. I just remember the punchline being like, "Oh, some of us have got homes to go to." So
yeah,
I don't know the full story, so that means nothing to people. So it just sounds mean. It just sounds mean. What can we do now? We could do questions for Ben. Alternatively, I could tell you a cracking anecdote.
Go on, I'm all up for a story.
It's been Halloween, of course, and so as you know, a lot of Halloween sort of parties are going on at the moment. And so on Friday night. Because I've been on the fancy dress bar crawl last week where I was dressed up as a priest, Ideal because I can open up my robes very easily when I need to go to the toilet. And obviously a bar crawl, I'll be going to the toilet quite a lot. Friday, I decided I'm going to go all out. I'm going to the O2. Got it, and there's going to be people dressed up and everything. I've got to look great. I've got to look to impress.
You've got to look on fleek.
And I go and decide to dress up as one of the sexiest characters I can dress up as, Zorro.
Yeah.
It's a pretty
very sexy character. Yeah.
And I've got the whole look. It's fantastic. The hat, the bandana, and it's got like a sort of six-pack and pecs in the suit. So it
You're
looks.
turning me on, John.
I had a cape and everything. I was looking good. Let's just say. And minor problem, just a minor problem with it.
Right, here we go.
Couldn't go to the toilet in it.
What do you mean?
There was no zipper on it, and the only way to sort of go to the toilet was if I'd actually took the...
was it like a onesie type?
It was sort of a type one. So involved, and I was worried about going to the O2, like going into a club with this costume on and having to go to the toilet and like basically taking my clothes off in order to go to the toilet. And even then, it's not great because the six-pack and pecs are like quite sort of not hard material, but it basically hangs in front of it. It's basically I've got a choice of urinating on my six-pack and pecs, or but I have to move that to the side. It's a lot of I had to
major logistical problems.
I had to practice the weekend before just to make sure everything was working perfectly fine. So I get to the club, I'm getting complimented on it. Everyone's like going, "Oh, nice costume, mate," and I'm like, "Yeah, I know, it is nice." And I'm getting so hyped now because I can see people dressed up. Somebody dressed up as Deadpool and another girl dressed up as I don't know what this year. Wonder Woman, actually, I think Wonder Woman's the big one this year.
Okay, yeah.
And we, get my ID out. Also, that was another thing. Didn't have any pockets as well, so I had to use my jean pockets in the back.
Probably a lot of Halloween costumes.
Yeah. And so I had to basically go into the back pockets, and that involved me looking pretty dodgy because it looked like I was going into my sort of buttocks area and pulling something out of there, but all I was pulling out was my ID. I pulled out the ID, get into the club, I walk in, I'm like, "What have you got?" I walk in, look down the balcony, there's no one dressed up. I was the only one of the very...
Oh really? That's quite bad.
It's like that feeling when you go in, like when you're at school, it's non-uniform day and you're one of those kids who's forgotten and you're in uniform.
Yeah.
It felt exactly like that. And what's worse is like the priest costume. It's a good costume, but it's quite subtle. I can get away with it. The Zorro costume, it's very in your face, especially with the pecs and the six-pack and.
And you say a priest costume's subtle.
Well, when I say subtle, it's like people will.
You haven't got a foam six-pack, I suppose.
Yeah, and it's like you can see my face and everything, and people look at me and just go, "Oh, nice costume." They look at me, they do a double take. It's like, what is he wearing? And it was not. So I had to go to the bar with whatever dignity I had left, and asking for a drink, and it's just embarrassing now because everyone else is like dressed up in like shirts and looking nice, and I'm just here dressed up as Zorro. Got onto the dance floor. It's ridiculously difficult to dance with a cape.
Yeah,
that's what I found out. The cape came off multiple times, and then after about an hour, not even that. I just left.
See, I think I had a similar experience last night.
Yeah,
I had a Halloween party, and it was just sort of set out, but there was different themes depending on sort of different groups. And my group was you had to go something beginning with A, the letter A. It could be anything.
Yeah.
So one of my friends went as Alice in Wonderland. Going in drag, you always get bonus points for that. There was a couple of obscure ones, but so there was all these different there was other people who had to come. Something beginning with the letter B, etc. There was Batman. There was a lot of superheroes, and I thought, I'm gonna go with something which no one's gonna have thought of. It was really obscure. So there's only gonna be me. It was similar to like girls who got a night out and they hate seeing other people wearing the same dress.
Yeah.
It was a similar thing. I thought I don't want to see anyone dressed up like me, so I went as an avocado. Massive sheet of card. I made it myself. Massive sheet of cardboard. Sort of stuck fabric on it to make it green, and that was majorly. I couldn't fit through doors. I had to turn sideways to get through doors. And everyone else just got sort of superheroes.
Yeah.
So I stuck out like a sore thumb.
But that's not a bad thing though. Sometimes it's like the priest costume.
At least everyone went in a fancy dress.
Yeah, that's true actually. But it's nice to be different from the standard say the ripped shirt and the blood makeup.
Yeah, I agree.
You've got to try and go for different. Hence the priest costume, and Zorro costume, which was there to try and woo listeners.
Yeah.
Should we play another song?
What about the song for the ladies?
Song for the ladies, yeah.
It's Johnny's choice. Any ladies listening?
Can you knock up the Yorks, please, mate?
Sure can.
And
what have we got?
It's an interesting song. It's not a proper song in any sense, because it's actually from a comedy show.
Okay, right.
You know Richard Ayoade?
Yeah, I do.
It's like a show that he's in. Matt Berry, the Toast of London.
Yeah.
It's him singing, basically. And I just thought it was a very, very sexy song that the ladies would love. Our ladies fan would love.
As long as the ladies enjoy.
Yeah, and to sort of go with the Zorro idea, just imagine me as Zorro and then listen to this song.
With a rose in your mouth.
Yeah. It's called One Track Lover.
Enjoy.
That was One Track Lover.
It was quite a sexy sounding song.
Yeah, with Richard Ayoade, sort of his voice. He's got a very sexy voice as well. So
I'd love to know what the ladies thought of that.
I'm sure they thought it was, as usual, with all these songs for ladies. They're gonna be cracking tunes with
from the ladies man himself.
The ladies man himself. Yeah.
The lady killer.
So we've reached we are at the end of our show now. It's been a good show. Everything's pretty much worked okay.
Yeah, there was the one song at the start, but we'll pretend that didn't happen.
Yeah,
that's the last time we mention it.
Yeah, exactly. No one needs to know that we. But that's what happens when you join the second biggest student radio station in Leicester. Maybe one day it could be the biggest, but as of now, it's still very much the second biggest. But they've got the Leicester's #1 radio DJs though.
Exactly. Award winning.
I'm trying to think. Is there anything else we can say? Otherwise, we're just like talking nonsense like we're doing now.
Yeah.
What can we say? Like, tune in for next week. What have we got?
Tune in for next week, where we've got more Red Top Review.
More Red Top Review.
Some 60s music coming up, some swinging 60s.
And our issue of the week, because of course we are the Loose Men.
And we'll be discussing charity.
And what our views are on charity. And
we'd love to hear your views as well.
So when we're on air again, go and obviously you're on the website. Go onto the little thing where it says chat. You can just type in your comment. You can even edit your name, so you've got a different name. So you can say.
Do you have to log in for that? Make an account?
No. All you have to do is. I'm just trying to remember. There is a way. Hang on.
Just explore.
I'm just having a look now. There it says customize. You can customize your name there. That's what it is, and so you can have your name as whatever you want. Yeah. Nothing too racy though. No swearing or anything like that. This is a family show because it's before the watershed.
Family friendly.
Watershed. So what's our final song?
Our final song, I've been building it up all show.
Yeah.
It's the best selling song in the UK throughout the 1950s. Obviously a quick Google, you could have found out what it was. It is Rock Around the Clock by Bill Haley and his Comets.
I've been Johnny Birch.
This is Ben Hodgkinson.
And this has been Loose Men.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock. 9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, rock. We're gonna rock.